We have a question or comment from Anne. Please go ahead.
I'm listening to all these wonderful things that you're saying and solutions and things that have come up. And you know, I was diagnosed and went through surgery and chemotherapy and everything and all that you've described. I didn't know about the losing all of the hair on the body, which I found out. But I haven't been in a relationship through all this time, and I haven't had the desire to, and I haven't run into anybody that has been of interest, and I don't know if that's related or just the circumstance, the person, and I just haven't, it's just a void for me, and I have always had a healthy libido prior to now, and now it just seems it's just like a non-thing. So I just thought I'd mention this because so many times that I hear people speaking as you are, and as how wonderful it is for everyone that's in this circumstance that you have got life partners and are in relationships long term and everything. And I'm just out here. I'm I don't know what it's going to be like when I do meet somebody. But I just wanted to say that there are people like me who have these questions, and we don't have any knowledge of what is to come.
Yeah. One of the things that, and thank you for, for your candor and really for speaking to that uncertainty. One of the questions that I'm frequently asked by single people, and I'm very aware that there are a lot of single people out there who are going through this. One of the questions I often get is, when do you tell someone? You meet someone and perhaps this is going somewhere. When do you tell them that you've had cancer? When do you tell them that you have a scar on your body or a body part that is no longer there? And I don't know the answer to this. I really don't. I think it's very much independent on the individual and this interested other. But somebody asked a question once at a presentation that I was giving, and a young woman in the audience stood up, and she'd had lymphoma as a sort of older teen, young adult, and she said that she tells people on the second date. And I said, what's the rationale behind this? She said, well, the first date is way too early, because maybe this is just coffee at Starbucks, right, and it's not going to go anywhere else. If you wait until the third date, there perhaps may be some concern that you've perhaps hidden this. You also are a little bit more invested in this person, and it might be going somewhere. So for her, the second date was the time that she would tell, because you're not that invested, but it's more than a first date. So that's just sort of anecdotally, something I think that for single people at some point you are going to meet someone. I really hope, and that I think is something that perhaps you need to strategize a little bit about.
Thank you.
We do have a question from Julie. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is another Julie. I have a question that may not apply to a lot of women because I know that not a lot of women have radiation for ovarian cancer, but I actually had it for local recurrence. And one of the consequences of having pelvic radiation is that you are required to use vaginal dilators for a period afterwards. And I'm finding this disconcerting.
Okay.
It is, it's not painful or anything like that, but my partner and I aren't quite sure if or how to incorporate this, or whether it should be treated separately, because it's sort of a medical procedure, but it's not a medical procedure.
That's a great question, and I'm really glad that someone asked this. I think there are a couple issues related to dilators, and your feelings of perhaps almost confusion are extremely common, because I think we do a really bad job around instructing women how to use dilators. First of all, we hand out terrible dilators for women. I know that what we use here at Cancer Care Manitoba is sort of this. It looks like a candle, but it's made out of hard plastic, and it's the most unfriendly looking thing I've ever seen. And I fully understand why women don't want to put that anywhere near them. just on that note, I have actually come across 2 suppliers, and I'm going to try and give you the web address of one. I'm just sort of stretching this phone, and if I disappear, please forgive me. But there is a person somewhere in the States who makes silicone dilators. I've actually got some in my office here. They are in pastel colors. They are soft. They come in various sizes, from one that's about the size of my baby finger to ones that are considerably larger. They can be, if you need to, you can actually put them in the dishwasher without the dishes. If you have this need
Right.
to really clean to that, I don't think that the vagina is not a sterile place, right? So I don't think you need to go to those lengths to clean it. It's actually, you can actually put these in the freezer and chill them down. And this is particularly useful for women who are having radiation therapy and perhaps have some burning. It can really provide some local relief. It's enough just to wash them with warm water and mild soap and let them air dry. These are available from a place called Soul Source. Once again, I have no financial interest in this. I was just so impressed by this guy that he actually made them. And you can buy them singly or you can buy a whole set. And okay, it's www.soulsourceenterprises.com, and soul as in body and soul.
Right.
And I was really impressed by this man and the fact that he thought to make these. So that might be a good resource for you. The reason that and you probably know this, but perhaps for people who are on the call who don't know this, the reason that we ask women who are having radiation treatment to the area to use dilators is that it is important that the vaginal canal does not become stuck to itself. I think most of us think of the vaginal canal as sort of this open tube, which it isn't. Under normal everyday circumstances, when you're not doing anything down there, the walls of the vagina actually are in contact. With radiation, you will get damage, some burnings, changes to those mucous membranes, and sometimes there is some serous fluid that leaks out, and you can get scar tissue formation, or the tissues all kind of stick to themselves. Obviously, this is going to cause enormous problems in the future for someone who wants to be sexually active, but it also causes problems because, unfortunately, you have to have pelvic exams for the rest of forever, and we don't want these to be excruciating experiences for you. You should use the dilator daily, but at least 3 times a week. And the reason that we say daily is because we know that women are not going to do this every day. So by daily, we hope that you will at least manage to use it 3 times a week. And the recommendation is that this continues for at least 3 years and possibly even longer. I strongly urge you to use a lubricant when you do use this. And some women actually find that using an estrogen cream as the lubricant is quite helpful. You should probably start within 4 weeks of completion of therapies, and you should start with a narrow diameter, round sort of 1/2 to 1 inch, gradually increasing up to a maximum of about 1.5 inches. An alternative to the dilator is regular penetration with something. A clean finger can do the job of a dilator. You don't have to use a dilator. I know one of our oncologists here suggests to women that they use a candle, and I really don't like that idea. The candle is, it's an artificial substance. It's probably colored and perfumed. So I would much rather see someone use a clean, lubricated finger as a really viable alternative, and perhaps, something that is less threatening.
That's great. That's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Good.